Am I the asshole for giving my dog an offensive name and then refusing to change it? I have several dogs, one of which is an American Akita. His name is Yankee. I thought it was funny, and he seems to like his name. My sister was in the States the past 2 years and recently flew home with her boyfriend in tow. First time we'd met him, yada yada. I guess she never mentioned me or my dogs, but he was pretty surprised when I told him my dog's name. I didn't think much of it. Most of my pets have peculiar names, so I assumed it was just an overall reaction. They left, my partner and I had dinner. Part way through our food my sister called and asked if I'd consider changing my dog's name. I kind of thought she was kidding, but she reiterated that she was serious. The name Yankee had upset her boyfriend, quite badly, and he found it offensive. I basically told her to fuck off and tell him to grow up, before going back to my food. The following day they literally show up at my door. I was kind of taken aback. Apparently they came to tell me why the name Yankee was so awful. During this discussion he told me it was essentially a slur used against Americans, and asked if I would ever name a dog the N-word. I just kind of laughed and told him he was off his nut. It's not that serious. You can't equate the word Yankee to something like the N-word. I told him I wasn't going to change my dog's name. He knows it. It'd be a shit ton of work. He's personal protection, so it could even damage his work. They, thankfully, left, but still seemed pretty upset. Thinking back now, I'm pretty sure there's a company with Yankee in the name? I wonder how many letters of complaint he sent. Anyway, I did message my American friends just to make sure I wasn't being a prick. They all agreed he was being stupid, but I know the US is huge and it might be more of a regional thing. So I'm still not sure. I am starting to feel kind of asshole-ish for not taking him seriously when it may be a genuine issue for him. So, I come to Reddit. 2 birds, 1 stone. I know a large amount of Americans frequent this subreddit. Am I an asshole, and is this an issue in the States that I should apologize for? ETA. I had a shower at 70 comments and now we're nearly at 1,000? I can't keep up with them. I'm sorry, loudly crying. Anyway, I think he's from the South, and my sister's a Tory, so he's more than likely a Republican. AITA from my partner. Since this post is gaining traction, I want to play a game. We are currently trying for a baby. What are some potential baby names we could mention to him? Just to, upset him a little. We do already have our names picked, but no one else knows that. Not the asshole. And your sister has managed to find the only American who thinks the term is offensive in any way. Yay. It's definitely a slur. That's why we have the entire New York Yankees baseball team. And Yankee Candle and Yankee Doodle. Not the asshole. It's not a slur. Edit. Please stop telling me there are offensive sports teams. That's exactly the point. The Yankees are never included in those discussions. Lol, I hope the brother sends angry letters to the New York Yankees. Not the asshole. YTA because I'm a Red Sox fan. Just kidding. Not the asshole. That's not a slur. It's what people from the southeastern United States call people from the other parts of the U.S. Is this guy even American? And yes, there's a company called Yankee Candle. There's literally a baseball team named the Yankees. Not the asshole. As a Yankee, no, you are not the asshole. Where the heck is he from? Boston? Making it a sports thing? Tears of joy, tears of joy. It is not a slur. The Yankees won the war. Not the asshole. He's being an AH by comparing Yankee, incidentally an official part in the military phonetic alphabet, to an actual racist slur. Keep the name and keep away from that BF. He's looking to start trouble, and the direction of travel from trivializing racism isn't pretty. I'd be expecting him to start talking about reverse racism and diversity quotas soon. Set your boundaries while you can, or risk being associated with such ice-cold takes yourself. Not the asshole, but let me guess. The American who was offended was white. POC are called much worse in the US, and Yankee has never been considered a slur. There are children's songs including this word, Yankee Doodle Dandy, as well as the entire NY Yankees sports team. The American boyfriend is a soft doughboy. Am I the asshole for flipping out on my husband for canceling my job interview? New account because he deleted my main. So, this might sound petty, but let me explain. In 2019 I could no longer work because of my physical disabilities. No company wanted to hire me for the past couple of years, and my husband said that it's better I just stay home and not worry about working. I agreed, and he's become the breadwinner. Then. It's like a switch that flipped because chores were 50-50, but after I lost my job they become 100% on me. Keep in mind my physical disabilities I developed. His excuse for not doing anything to help is that I stay at home 24/7. I told him that's not fair, especially since I suffered from physical discomfort. He made a deal with me and promised that everything will be 50-50 once I start working again. I told him I would find a job and he laughed and said, "Good luck." I remember this vividly because of the strange laugh that I never heard him laugh before. I started looking for a job again for months but had no luck till my friend's husband found me a potential job at a company that would have me WFH due to physical strains. I was so excited and felt like I'm capable again despite the struggle. They scheduled an interview with me and when I told my husband he looked red in the face but said nothing. 2 days ago I found out that my job interview got cancelled. I found out when my friend reached out to ask why I did that, but I said I had no idea. I checked my email and found nothing because I didn't send anything to the company. My husband came home and admitted cancelling the interview. I asked why and he said that, this job had lots of requirements and I didn't seem fit to be accepted there, so to spare me the heartache of being rejected, he just cancelled the interview. I flipped out on him and told him he destroyed my one and only chance at landing a job. But he said he was just feeling concerned about my well-being. I told him he probably didn't want me to work cause he didn't want to split house chores and he seemed offended by that. He threw a fit about how unreasonable and selfish I was to even consider a job without speaking to him first. I told him I don't get involved in his work life. He called me horrible for accusing him of bad intention, then went out to meet his friends, probably to vent because one of them told me that my husband is looking out for me but I was being cruel to him by yelling. He has been cold-shouldering me since then, deleted my social media accounts claiming that they're bad for my mental health because of the negative effect some of those platforms have. Am I the asshole for yelling at him? Not the asshole, new account because he deleted my main. I just had to read this one line and knew this was not going to be you in the wrong. This man has extreme control issues. Run. He should be lifting you up and encouraging your growth and happiness. Not beating you down when you try to do something that makes you happy. I hope you realize you deserve so much better. Get out, get out, get out. Call your friends, your parents, your dog sitter, whoever can take you and leave right now. Get a divorce the moment you are out and never go near him again. This is 12 different kinds of abusive and could escalate very easily. He wants you helpless and dependent on him so he can abuse you, and it's only going to get worse. Run now. Not the asshole, but that hardly matters. Not the asshole. Dear Op. Please get out of this relationship now. Your husband is showing you exactly who he is, an abuser. First, he cut you off from your family and friends by deleting your socials. Then he cancelled a job interview that would have given you some financially security. What exactly are you getting out of this relationship? Time for you to get in touch quietly with your family and make a plan to get out before he starts escalating. Not the asshole. This dude sounds abusive and controlling. Why is he your husband? This is literally domestic abuse. Get the hell out and fast, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Get a lawyer. Get out now. Not the asshole. So many red flags here. 1. Looking out for you does not equal controlling you. If he was legitimately concerned about the job impacting your health, then he should talk to you like a reasonable person. 2. What the heck? About deleting your social media. That is isolating behavior. Again, any reasonable person would voice their concern to you and try to convince you to delete it. Get in counseling and set firm boundaries with consequences ASAP or get out. This is frankly somewhat scary behavior from him. Info. Does he ever try to control what you spend money on? Does he try to distance you from other relationships by limiting how often you can see them, bad-mouthing them, or any other method? Does he control other aspects of your life? He's isolating you. He's making you dependent on him. He's gaslighting you. He's not doing what's best for you. The fact that you are here asking am I the asshole shows how much he's brainwashing you into thinking you are wrong. What does he do to uplift you? Because it sounds like he wants to keep you little. Sorry, English not my first language. Some people like that, it's like an ego thing for them. It makes them look like the caregiver, the strong one, the know-it-all, the savior, etc. Not the asshole, of course. Am I the asshole for telling people exactly why my girlfriend wasn't at my brother's wedding? I don't care if my family recognizes this, but using a throwaway because I don't want them following back to my regular account. So first off, I'm a girl, and so is my girlfriend of 4 years, obviously. We're both mid, late 20s, shared finances, live together, planning to marry and buy a house, etc. This is relevant later. When my brother sent out wedding invites, only my name was on it. I asked Dan and he said that because of COVID, they were restricting numbers and no one was getting a +1. Fair enough, no problem. Anyway, I get there on Saturday and everyone has a +1. Even my cousin who's only been casually seeing this guy for like a couple of weeks. It's obvious why. This isn't the first time GF's been treated differently, but it's the first time it's been blatant beyond plausible deniability. I'm furious, but I grit my teeth, smile, and get through the ceremony. At the reception, my family immediate notices girlfriend is missing and asks about her. I was going to say she was sick but then I decide you know what? Fuck it. I just said, she wasn't invited. Gee, I wonder why? I wasn't shouting, but it was pretty clear I was bitter. Shortly after that, my brother and his new wife come storming over. She's sobbing and he's whisper shouting threats at me so I left. Now my immediate family isn't talking to me except to yell at me, and the rest of my family isn't talking to them except to yell at them. My mom insists it was a mix-up, misunderstanding with the invites. My dad wants me to apologize because, even though it was wrong to exclude her, it was their day and I shouldn't have made it about me by causing drama. Dan and Maddie are being shunned by half the extended family, and the other half are split between being on their side or staying neutral. My mom thinks if I apologize and tell everyone it was a misunderstanding I can smooth it over, but I kinda don't wanna. Am I the asshole? My mom insists it was a misunderstanding. Ha! You actually talked to your brother about it. There was zero chance it was a misunderstanding. Not the asshole. Why cover up his bigotry by lying? Not the asshole, they fucked around and found out. Not the asshole. They asked why she wasn't there. The answer was that she wasn't invited. Not the asshole, it's not reasonable that your family expected you to lie about your GF's absence. Fuck them. I think you're a mature person not to walk out the second you saw your cousin's +1. You were way more tolerant than I would have been. Not the asshole. Their wedding, their choice, but they also have to live with the consequences of their choice. Not the asshole. My mom insists it was a mix-up, misunderstanding with the invites. Then why is she saying that instead of your brother and his wife? Where exactly is she getting the information that everybody else got a +1 and somehow his own sister slipped through the cracks was an honest mistake, misunderstanding? How does she explain that he actually said no one was getting a +1 but everybody did? I would ask her that and also if she thinks nothing wrong happened here? The same for everyone trying to brush things under the rug. Make them say it out loud and make it clear you aren't going to accept dodgy answers. It's why Dan and Maddie are getting shunned. It's obvious to them what happened. Not the asshole. Grew up with a gay brother in the South, in a small town, in the late 80s early 90s. I saw him excluded from community school stuff and then from family stuff for a time and we were both bullied. He's my best friend and the sweetest dude ever. I never dreamt of excluding him from anything. Sounds like half your family are assholes or cowards for not standing up for you. I hope your family comes around like the dickheads in mine. Throwing positive vibes your way. Not the asshole, you told the truth. Whatever that says about them is their own fault and their own problem. Am I the asshole for sending my daughter to a private school against her father's wishes? I, F28, had my daughter, F9, when I was quite young. Her father, M33, bailed and I didn't have any family to support me, so the first few years were tough. I ended up taking an extra 2 years to graduate college and I had to put my career goals, ambitions on hold. Now, I don't regret any of this and I love my daughter. But I wasn't able to give her the life I wanted her to have in the first few years. Through some miracle or luck, I was able to get her into an amazing private school in our city with almost full coverage financial aid. While there were some out-of-pocket costs plus after-school care costs, I wanted to set my daughter up for success and saw this as a way to do so. She has been at this school her whole school life and absolutely loves it. Last year, her father moved to the city we live in and reached out. He said he wanted to be a part of her life and didn't want to miss out on any more moments. We initially tried to handle things together without the courts, but he was unhappy about the slow progress and decided to take me to court for visitation. He asked for 50-50 custody and was awarded it, but now has to pay child support including school tuition, which has led to this issue. He initially agreed to pay for private education in court. Because her father makes a great salary, our financial aid is no longer eligible and are now only a fraction of what we previously had. This was taken into consideration during our custody case and her father now has to pay 70% of the yearly tuition, based on our income ratio and other factors. This worked out for a while until last month, when he reached out and brought up enrolling her into the public school system. I asked why and he told me that since we were both parents we both get a say in making decisions for her. He claims that since I made the decision to enroll her before he was around, now that he was involved it should be re-evaluated together, parent to parent. I told him that with all the changes she's experiences this past year, keeping this one constant in her life is only beneficial and supported by her therapist and other support systems. I told him if he was unhappy with the arrangement, he could take it up with the courts, but I wasn't going to do it, parent to parent. He called me difficult, but when I asked if it was for financial reasons, he said no and it was about making decisions together. He chose to not pursue it in court, but when she got back from her father's last week, she was on the verge of tears and asked me if she would have to move schools. Am I the asshole for sending my daughter to a private school even though her father doesn't want me to? Edit. My state, according to Google, so we'll have to confirm with a professional, doesn't offer back child support, but only unpaid child support from when it was first established. Not the asshole. And honestly shocked he got 50-50 custody when he was entirely absent for 9 years. What the fuck was the judge thinking? NTA I think that, Dad, is now trying to assert some authority in a decision that was made years ago for your daughter's benefit. He was a little to no show up until recently and I wholeheartedly agree with you, keep her at that school, she clearly loves it there and more importantly she is going to get a bloody good education. Dad is the asshole for oh so many reasons other than the schooling. Not the asshole. If he wants to be a father, he has to put his daughter first. Why would he choose to drag daughter from good school, just to comfort his ego, that he is the one who made the decision? Appeal the 50-50 custody ruling. Push for full custody. Your daughter coming home in tears and asking if she has to change schools is more than enough reason. If your daughter has the stomach for it, allow her to testify about these events. I do not know what private schools are like, but I can promise you one thing from my experiences of public, albeit in the 1980s. You are so very not the asshole. Def NTA, the father's being a prick for most likely financial reasons. Why else would he want to transition her from a good education in private school to a public school? He's lying. Of course it's about the money. She's doing very well. Don't rock the boat. She's been there for years and has many friends. Play his little game out. Show him brochures from the school and explain why you chose it and why it's important to her to stay where she's excelling. Not the asshole. Private school has been her normal. Her father doesn't get to come back into her life to make she change it. If he wants to do what's best for your daughter he should respect what you and mental health professionals are saying. Not the asshole. Ask him to provide his reasons for wanting to switch her school in writing for your consideration. If he cannot prove that the public school is a better option for any reason other than cost, are they better academically, socially, geographically? Then he'll lose the discussion immediately. He's made his bed. Let him lie in it uncomfortably.